Hello, my friend. We all need an ego. We all need a sharpness to ourselves to make it out in the world, to compete with other people, to be out there and earn our keep. It takes adjustment to the rules of society, and it takes the transformation of some aspects of yourself to be able to let your voice be heard, to be taken seriously, to seem enough like other people so that you can feel you belong and fit in. All of that is about ego functioning. To be part of the world, to earn your living, to maintain your boundaries, to hold your own in relation to a hostile world. All of that requires you to have ego strength. And there's nothing wrong with that. What goes wrong is if your whole self becomes reduced to this external hard shell of your living. If you become reduced to being always in competitive mode and always in finding what you need and pursuing your objectives without any other aspects to your relationships. But that's very rarely the case, because all of us have this much more vulnerable sense of who we are inside of us, and we struggle really hard to create a coherent and cohesive sense of ourselves, and that kind of selfhood will never be equated with your ego. Most of us recognize the distinction between the ego, which is our self-presentation in the world, and our inner self, where we can have conversations with ourselves about the things that matter and the things that don't matter, what aspects of our character we like and want to develop, and what aspect we don't like so much and want to tame a little bit. So that inner self usually is a counterpart to that outside ego. And if you can keep those two in balance, that's great. It works even better if you have a good body self to pin all that on, to hold all that together. And it works even better if you are in touch with your spiritual connectivity to everything that is above and beyond you. And that will give you inspiration to filter values and meanings through everything you do, be it at the body level, at the ego level, at the self level, or purely in your spirituality. This multiplicity of different guises of who you are, of how your consciousness comes into the world and relates with it, allows you to weave things together, to not get hung up on problems in your ego world, to not get hung up about your body, to not get overawed about yourself, but to keep looking towards what is possible and what makes you whole in relation to all that is, i.e., to take advice from your spiritual self and to take inspiration from your spiritual self. It puts the ego into perspective. But managing without the ego, I think it's a very hard call. If you try to manage without an ego, you will tend to become dependent on other people's goodwill more than I think is good for any person to be in this world. So develop a healthy ego, keep changing yourself for the better, and keep tuning in to that spirituality inside of you that takes you above and beyond all of that. All of this happens in the body. So look after that as well, my friend. There's a lot to keep track of, isn't there? But that makes it interesting, and it also means there is help from all directions for you to make things work out in this difficult, troubled world. Take care, my friend. You have a lot going for you.